Welcome to Mind Shield. We protect the mind and pursue the truth. Let's get started.
All right, let's get right into it. Today, we are building your very first case file. Now, this is way more than just a bunch of notes. Think of it as a critical tool designed specifically for anyone dealing with targeted harassment. It's built to be clean, totally anonymous, and easy for someone to review, which helps investigators actually take action while keeping you safe. And this quote really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? The whole point here is to transform that overwhelming, chaotic feeling of "this is happening to me" into a structured, credible asset. We're getting past the point where someone can just dismiss your story. We're creating a documented dossier that absolutely demands to be taken seriously. So here's our game plan for this explainer. We're going to start with the why, how we get from chaos to credibility. Then we'll break down the 6 essential parts of a case file. After that, we'll cover the super important rules for anonymization and evidence integrity. And finally, we'll talk about how this file becomes your shield. Okay, so first things first, why is the structured file your absolute best defense? Well, because unstructured stories, no matter how true they are they're too easy for people to dismiss. But when you present disciplined, objective documentation, that's a whole lot harder to ignore. When you hand over a file that looks and feels like a professional report, like something a lawyer would put together, it immediately establishes a history and it proves your own credibility. It shows you're being systematic and rigorous. This isn't just about collecting proof. It's about speaking a language that institutions actually understand and respect. Right. Let's get into the nuts and bolts. We're going to look at the actual blueprint of your file and see how these different pieces come together to build a really powerful narrative. It all breaks down into 6 key components. These 6 sections right here, they're the backbone of your entire case file. And each one has a very specific job: to protect you, to lay out the facts clearly, to catalog your proof, to show you've done your homework, and finally to state exactly what kind of help you're looking for. Okay, the timeline. Discipline is everything here. You've got to think like you're creating a crime scene notebook. This is not a diary entry. You're just logging the objective facts. Stick to your top 10 most significant incidents. That keeps it focused. Date, time, location. What was happening around you? The goal is to let the pattern of facts speak for itself without any emotion clouding it.
Now for your evidence index. This is where you catalog all your proof. And honestly, the more objective, hard artifacts you have, the stronger your case is going to be. We're talking photos of strange vehicles, screenshots of messages, even technical data like RF spectrum logs. You just want to catalog each item cleanly so a reviewer can see the sheer weight of your documentation in a single glance.
Now, this next idea, controls and null trials, is a total game changer for your credibility. By documenting when and where the weird stuff doesn't happen, you're showing any investigator that you've been rigorous. You're not just collecting stories that confirm your fears. You're actually testing your own assumptions to rule out other possible explanations. It's scientific. Let's talk about safety, because building a case file is absolutely essential, but you have to do it without exposing yourself to more risk. And that means anonymization is completely non-negotiable. Just look at the difference here. It's critical. On the left, all those personal details make you vulnerable. But on the right, you've got enough information for an investigation without compromising your identity. Remember, this file is about the evidence, not your private life. So, use an alias, a general region, redacted photos, and a secure way to be contacted. This checklist covers the 3 absolute must-dos. First, redact or black out all personal information from the evidence you submit. Second, know that digital files often have hidden data or metadata that might need to be stripped out. And third, and this is so important, always keep your original, unedited evidence safe in a private, offline archive. The file you share is a copy. The originals are for your eyes only. So let's move on to integrity. Anonymity protects you. Integrity protects your evidence. This is what makes your documentation legally credible and really, really hard for anyone to challenge. We're borrowing a really important concept from the legal world here: chain of custody. Now, don't let the term intimidate you. All it really means is a paper trail that proves your evidence hasn't been messed with. It just documents who handled it, when, and why from the second you collected it. Okay, this next part is optional, but wow, is it powerful. A file hash is basically a unique digital fingerprint for a file. By creating a hash of your original evidence and sharing it, you can mathematically prove that the copy someone is looking at is a perfect,
unaltered match to your original. It's like a digital tamper-proof seal.
So the takeaway here is actually pretty simple. Protect your originals. Rule number 1 is you never, ever work from them. Always make copies. And for every single piece of evidence, just write down some quick notes about how you got it. That simple, meticulous process keeps your chain of custody clean and makes your evidence so much more powerful. All right, we've built the file, we've protected you and the evidence, so now let's talk about the whole point of this, turning all this discipline work into real action. This file is your shield, and it's also your advocate.
And this is the end goal, right here. You've officially moved beyond just telling stories and created a real dossier. You've built a forensic trail that's backed up by artifacts, by patterns, and by credible documentation. This is the kind of package that investigators and attorneys can actually do something with, a case so well supported it simply cannot be ignored.
I really want you to remember this as you do this work. The dignity comes from telling your story and demanding to be heard. The discipline is how you make sure that story is taken seriously. The two go hand in hand. Your disciplined work gives your story the weight and the respect it has always deserved.
So, you've built your case file, which is an incredible first step toward taking back control. But what's next? Well, join us next season because we're going to explore the power of corroboration, how you can find third-party validation and move from just my record to our proof. Thanks for being here.